They are. I don't know how we do that. It's a lot of it has to do with people understanding how to use transportation, decision makers understanding how to use transportation, and our region is built on cars.
Right.
There's no argument about that. So we have to allow that to be part of the trip, just as you were talking about bicycles earlier. The cars are the same way. We have to understand that and accept that. I'm not sure where we're at with that right now.
Well, let me throw it out. This could be like a mini commercial too. Peter is the president of a company called Semitech, and Semitech is, I'm going to do the short version of this, but Semitech owns, if you've been to Asia, there's automated parking systems, and essentially you drive your car into a space, you lock your car, you exit the space, and the machine automatically takes and repositions your car on a number of levels. Based on the square footage and the efficiency, you can locate your car within this structure. And one of the things that Kerry does is he designs it so, say you have this big field like the cornfield, and you want to keep the green field above for soccer and all, you have a small entrance where the cars can go, and it can go underground, and these are some options at the airport too. But because these are new ideas, we haven't even really broached it at the Transit Coalition. At some meeting, Kerry would probably put a presentation together and educate everybody on this. But the whole idea is that you can go and take, let's say they're tearing down a parking structure in Santa Monica, which is like 374 cars, and they're put in a movie theater. Well, the problem is that then you're short parking in the area, but if you use the automated parking system, you could probably in 25% of the square footage that the parking structure took, you could have 1, 2, 3, 4 bays where people would drive in, cars would automatically park. I think it's about 90 seconds to retrieve a car from maximum amount of time, and you can solve some problems. But some of this is new technology it's not so much it's emerging, it's just once the first installation comes into Los Angeles and somebody here may know a reasonable place for an application, it's like everything else. It's always the chicken or egg. Which do you get first? Once you get one project and everybody sees, whoa, that's a great idea. We should have had this here.
Yeah. Let's build 100.
I mean, because every metro rail station that doesn't have parking, let's just take Overland.
Oh yeah,
Overland.
Marvelous example.
But Kerry did a great rendering of how you could treat Overland. You could basically take about 20% of the available square footage at Overland and have a couple entrances where you park below ground, and you can have the whole surface as green, as a park. And these are the kinds of ideas that the timing is right. It's just a matter of educating. I don't want to take that much time out of this meeting, but it's really fascinating to see what can be done. And once an installation's here, then it's going to be like a stampede. It's such a simple idea, it makes so much sense, but it just hasn't got here yet.
We can increase parking density by about 300%.
Okay, Sam, you haven't asked a question.
This is about the West Hollywood segment of the subway. It's kind of past Measure R, but well, I personally think it makes far more sense for that to be, light rail to hook up with Crenshaw, and I think Bart and I are on the same page. I think you mentioned that earlier. But the West Side Subway people, the West Side Subway people seem to be dead set on heavy rail for that, hooking up with the Purple Line extension somehow. And I'm wondering, what's the plan for that? If they were to do that, would it be
operationally? The way it would work would be it would tee into Hollywood Highland Station. It would not connect. It'd be simply just a transfer point there, and it would work down to Santa Monica Boulevard, west on Santa Monica Boulevard, to La Cienega or somewhere along those lines, and then down to the Purple Line. So we would have a Wilshire, Vermont type junction, very close to Beverly Hills, only going the other direction. So it would be a nightmare to schedule. It's a whole lot of railroad, not a whole lot of area.
It takes care of the pink line. The idea, we just changed it because we were looking at Justin's idea too. But the whole idea is if you tie in Crenshaw, and do that hub that the West Hollywood people want, you can actually connect the light rail and start at Hollywood and Highland, and it actually could work, and then it doesn't cause the scheduling nightmares that you're talking about.
That actually is a pretty good idea.
So, I mean, and one of the things that's been open to my mind today in terms of thinking, because I don't think in the terms of a scheduler, is that what happens when you design this system, and the complexity is if you have two lines or four, if you have four legs sharing one set of branches, if you make it more complex than that because everybody wants something to go downtown, you then become this scheduling nightmare. You just don't have the rail capacity. So you have to design the system so it's simple. So Sam's idea here is that it may solve a problem because then you could go from Hollywood Highland down to the airport and it could solve a problem. So just thinking about some of these ideas, you can pass these around. Next question is...
And just one other thing, we are definitely a two-track system. We're not going to 4 tracks or anything like that, ever. So it's a two-track railroad.
Extending the Green Line eastward to the other Norwalk station, the Metrolink station, which some Amtrak chains stop at. And when they call it out, they say Metrolink's Norwalk station. But anyway, extending it on the surface, perhaps down the median of the street. What's the problem there?
Bart, I think I need to let you take care of that one. It's absolutely nowhere right now with our agency.
I know that.
Yeah.
Why?
You were asking about extending the Green Line?
Yeah, eastward.
Oh, well,
it's within Norwalk. It's from one end of Norwalk to Metrolink.
Actually, it's a pretty simple idea. In fact, when I actually went to transportation school, the plan was to do it from the Amtrak Metrolink to the Green Line as a subway because it was actually less expensive than that time than do an elevator. Just as Justin's talking about, it's less expensive to go under Santa Monica 405. But the answer is politically, that particular area of the county, Gateway Cities, was enamored with maglev, and the people that were in political control at the time of Measure R were basically maglevistias rather than light rail. And so anytime you talk about extending the Green Line, we went to the Gateway Cities at least 10 different times, and they were nice to us, but we never got any traction with these guys, and that's why the finish of the last 2.4 miles of the Green Line to Los Ancorder didn't make it this round. Now, I have to imagine politically, if we can pull the 3010 off and get some of this miles in there, well, that's going to be one of the missing links that's going to be famous. The problem is that I may not be around to see it happen, but at least I can visualize it happening.
But the woman who at least was the mayor of Norwalk a year or two ago said she's been trying very hard to get an Amtrak to stop in Norwalk. When I told her they already did stop there, she just didn't believe me. But she's had transportation for them. She's not very bright, but she's very gung-ho. So maybe things have changed.
Well, I would put down on a list to, strike up a relationship, because a lot of things in transportation, it's about relationships and meeting with people and all. And quite frankly, the problem with the maglev guys, they took one of them back to DC a couple months ago when they were working on getting federal money, and they basically had to put a muzzle on the guy because he started talking maglev when the whole region was actually talking about corridors and being technology neutral. So you unfortunately have a problem in that area, and I sympathize with you, Joe. And I'd like to see that solution, because obviously, just imagine if you could get off Amtrak or Metrolink at Norwalk, get on a Green Line and get to the airport in 15 minutes, it would be huge. There's no question. It's just a no-brainer. The problem is that the people down the Gateway Cities cogs are no-brainers.
Do you know if that woman is still the mayor of Norwalk?
Don't know the politics there, but let's get some more questions in. I want to make sure everybody who hasn't asked a question. All right, then we're going to go around to the second round. Well, Stephen, you can do the first one.
Not sure if this is up your alley or not, but you did mention the parking lot by the airport.
Yes.
And I just wanted to point out, the lockers cost cyclists money. Parking lot doesn't cost motorists money. And as the Metro grapples for a balanced budget and looks to raise fees, we still give out free parking. And I realize that, and the thing is that, no offense to the Metro, like for example along the Orange Line, there's a lot of property owned by the Metro. Paving it is one of the simplest ways to manage it. that actually blights the neighborhood from our perspective to have more paved fenced property that